All right, good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Chelsea, I can see you. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Very good. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Caroline Massimino. I'm a Regional Vice President in Team Prosperity, and I am direct to Rachel Barbounis. Tonight, I believe we have the Stevens, Burke and Riches Nation on, so welcome one and all. If this is your first training, then massive congratulations and welcome to the team. Just a little bit of housekeeping, just so you know, if you have your camera on, everyone on the call can see you, which is great because we love to see each other's faces. But if you're putting babies to bed, breastfeeding like Sal, or I don't know if you're having a bath like someone has done in the past, just turn your camera off. It's on your screen. It's stop video. It's in the bottom left of your screen. And tonight's call is going to be really exciting because we're going to hear from three incredible speakers. They're all experiencing some great momentum in their teams, and they're all going to talk about different things tonight. So get your pens and papers ready. They're going to give us their tips, their tricks, their secret sauce, which is going to be really exciting. But first of all, before we do hear from them, I'm just going to go through a couple of administration things. And one of them is end of month. So congrats though to everyone on a super month in August. It was just amazing. It was a huge month for everyone. But I want to provide some clarification around the end of month cutoffs. Firstly, end of month is always midnight, okay? And regardless of the day, be it Saturday, Sunday, whatever, customer service is always available until midnight. But just to save yourself some heartache, please treat end of month as our cutoff is at 11:30 p.m. From time to time, the system gets overloaded. Things slow down. It's usually when we're going for promotions, happen to all of us, but exceptions will no longer be granted to consultants. If, say, for example, you place an order at 11:55 p.m. Oh, hang on, let me just mute everyone again, sorry. So you might put in an order at 11:55, but it doesn't go through until 2 minutes past midnight. They will no longer be exceptions for that. So please make sure all your orders are in by 11:30. Go straight back into your stats and monitor them so you've got time to ring head office before midnight. So just to make that clear. Additionally, if you're signing a PC or an IC in another country, you are putting the order in, the cutoff is the country that you are in. If, for example, though, your PC or IC is signing them up themselves and they're in another country, which I wouldn't recommend you do anyway, but cutoff time is for that country where the actual order is being placed. So just, so if you're in Australia, you're signing someone in the UK, it must be done on Australian cutoff time. If someone's in the UK signing themselves up from the UK, then it is UK time. So just to make that crystal clear. The other thing I wanted to bring up was adding people to Healthy Living. Now, I get at least 5 calls a month asking me to clarify whether they can add somebody to Healthy Living for that month. Now, the Healthy Living Community Task Force came up with this amazing idea that basically allows anybody to be added at any time during the month. So if you sell your nutrition ASVP, you can add somebody that day. So if it's up to the 15th of the month, you get added into the current month. If it's after the 15th, you get added to the following month, which is open. But the clever thing that the task force has done is they've now labelled every post with the week and the day. So you can come in on the 13th, 14th, 15th, but go back to week 1, day 1, and start following the program. So it's really important that we do the Healthy Living with our PC so that we can help navigate them through the program, and also so we're there to support and encourage them along the way. And I just want to give out a shout out to Nick Jubber, who even when I have the silly questions, she always answers. So the task force is doing an amazing job. So thank you guys. The other thing, Team Prosperity website, it's been down for a little while now, but the good news is it's coming back. It will be up in the next few days, I think, or at least a week or something like that. The incredible Executive Regional Vice President, Paula Jarsky, has offered to help manage that, and she will be looking after the maintenance of the website and ensuring all the documents are kept up to date. Paul's has already put a stack of work into it, and we are super grateful that she is going to take that on. It's a huge job, but she's very passionate about the website, so just be patient for us while that happens, but she'll have that up and running very, very soon. Okay, the Christmas range. So just a reminder, the Christmas range is now available. It's absolutely beautiful. It's the nicest range I've seen in my 4 years in Arbonne. We say that every year, but it actually is. It's beautifully packaged. The products are really exciting, or they're sexy as I call them today. You and everyone you know are shortly going to start buying your generic Christmas gifts for teachers, work colleagues, coaches, cleaners, whoever it may be. So guys, why not leverage this through your own business? I know it's only September, but you want to really start thinking about how you're going to leverage this. There's lots of creative ways that you can do that through Christmas events, just through your own business or whatever. I mean, have a chat to your upline or your VP. But do people a favour, help them get their shopping done early. I'm telling you, it will run out. It runs out every year, and the fact that this year, it really is so amazing. I'm not just saying that, it's really cool. You want to get your I Want It All now at 50% off. What I've personally done is I got my I Want It All, and I've gone in and I've ordered certain things that I know are going to sell out fast. In particular, in case anyone's wondering, I'm loving the, what's it called, the Lunar and the Comet beauty gift sets. Absolutely rock and roll. They are gorgeous gifts. They're just beautiful. Candles are ridiculous as usual. They will sell out. So please, make sure you get onto your Christmas range and get the most for your business as much as possible. For me, I use them myself. I gift some of mine at the end, but yeah, it's just a beautiful range. What else? Okay, product training. Okay, this Friday, September 13th, Michelle Lopez, who is the Director of Field Training and Communication, she's going to be doing a live on the Biohydria range and the new holiday range. I haven't seen this training, but apparently she recently did this in the UK and it was unbelievable. You don't want to miss it. But what you will need to do is make sure you're following the Facebook page. It's the Australia and New Zealand DA info and conference call page. So if you're not on it already, just search that up. I'm pretty sure from memory you have to be accepted. You might need to put your region in there. But get on that and get on the live on Friday if possible. I'm sure there'll be a recording of it afterwards. But that will be amazing. I think that's all from me. So we're going to go into our speakers now. So our first speaker tonight, I'm really excited to introduce. It's District Manager from my region, Murray Silver. So amongst other things, Muzz is a great businessman. He's startups, developed apps. I actually own a Taekwondo school outside of Arbonne with him, but he also owns his own digital agency. So just a quick story. Last week I got a call from Danny, it was Sunday night, asking me whether I would fill in for her for a DA on the Monday night out at South Melbourne. It's not a Team Prosperity DA, so I figured I needed to, to do us proud. And I mean, God, they thought they were getting Danny Stevens and they got me. And one of the slides I was asked to do was the why Arbonne, why now. So I've seen Murray do this. I mean, I present it and that's fine. And, I have my way of doing it. But I've seen Murray do this before. And because of his background, he absolutely nails it. So I rang him and said, Muzz, give me some of your points. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I do want to say, though, that these are just suggestions. Everything that's currently on the presentation is all that we need to say, okay? It's all that we need to know. But when you listen to different people, you hear different facts, different figures and so forth, and then you start to sort of build your own way of doing it. But if anyone was on the Gold Coast at AAC 2 weeks ago, was it? 3 weeks ago? Cecilia Stoll, our global #1 income earner, did a DA and she read the slides. So reading the slides is absolutely fine. But like I said, it's just great to hear different people do different things. So with that, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to find Muzz. Oops. And I'll unmute him. Oh, you've unmuted yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Go for it, Muzz.
Thanks for the intro, Kaz. I didn't realise we were having a mix of so many nations.
220 people.
Yeah, no, I've just gone, oopsies. So, like you, for those who don't know, we've just recently, my wife and I have had our third little boy, so he's 3 weeks old, so I'm unshaven, bath the kids, I've locked them upstairs with Kat, so there's no noise. But yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Kaz. And for those who don't know me, Murray Silva, Barbunas Nation. As Kaz did mention, my background is more predominantly in digital. I've got my own digital business, looking after print and software management, websites, apps, digital marketing, social marketing, pretty much any sort of digital aspect of the business. And also a Taekwondo school with Caroline and Carlo. And my wife, for those who don't know, Katrina, is also an independent consultant, area manager in the Barbunas Nation. So, yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Kaz. Really, there's going to be 2 slides I'm going to talk about, is the why Arbonne, why now, and then also social marketing being the business model of the future. And again, I'm glad you did say it, Kaz, because I was going to obviously back it up as well, that these are just my takeouts. This is what I sort of encounter in my digital business day to day, and this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing these trends with marketing, I suppose, departments, with marketing agencies, and really what's sort of happening in the market, which whenever I'm seeing this, I'm thinking, oh, geez, this is why Arbonne is really such a good business model. So again, these are just pointers. I'm not here to tell anybody how to suck eggs and how to present and what they should and shouldn't say. It is just, if you get one little thing out of this and something resonates, then by all means. And also I've got it on a Word doc. So if anyone wants anything post this, I'm happy to email it or send a message. So that's fine. Just yell out. So when I talk about the why Arbonne, why now slide, there's a few things that I sort of point on. And while the pointers are there on the slide, a big thing I'm noticing is, especially the new generation, but people in general, they're overworking 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. So I always talk about people's mindsets changing in their working hours and their working weeks. Obviously with Arbonne, that's not the case. So another thing I'm seeing and I'm hearing and I'm noticing a lot is people don't want to spend hours in traffic every day. I've got friends that spend an hour and a half, 2 hours each way every day to work. That's 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week they're spending in their car, which to me I find amazing. That's almost 2.5 working days that they could be with their family doing something else, but they're in a car on the way to an office. So that's another, I suppose, downside in traditional business. I'm also seeing a lot in the businesses I deal with, hot desking, and employers now starting to promote people work from home and remotely. They're giving them access to company files, and they can log in from home, log in remotely, because they actually realise and they're seeing that their staff productivity is more, and it's increasing more working from home. They're happier. They're not, again, feeling that burden of having to sit in a car, be in an office, being told when to have lunch, when they can have a smoko. So I'm seeing across corporates now that's a big trend in the hot desking and working remotely. Another reason I find with Arbonne is it's such a low barrier to entry. Again, as I mentioned, being a small business owner with Caroline, with Arbonne, you don't have to register the business. There's no manufacturing. You don't have to lodge the patents on the products. There's no logistics of the delivery. There's no marketing. There's no rents or overhead or staff costs. There's none of that with Arbonne. So again, I just find the low barrier to entry another great point to talk about on this slide. And another big thing with Arbonne is the boom in online shopping. It's just obvious. Especially, I dare say, be predominantly females on this call who would all be well aware of online shopping and how to purchase goods. Just the other day I walked out and there was a Coles truck in my street delivering people's groceries and consumables, and people are doing it now because they're time poor or because it's just convenient. I did post in Our Nation that the Australia Post team Qantas and basically chartering 5 extra jumbo jets each month to keep up with online shopping demands, to get products into this country because of the amount of online shopping we're doing here in Australia. Another good point on this slide is I've always said if you've got social media, if you've got a social media account, if you've got the internet, with all the infrastructure that the company supplies us, you've got a global business. Again, that's pretty unheard of for, as I said, the low barrier to entry and how easy it is to start in Arbonne. I also talk about, this why Arbonne, why now is health and wellness and beauty is $1 trillion industry. I think more than ever, consumers and people are more educated. The boom in smartphones mean people research a lot more things. It's easy to Google. People are more aware of their health and fitness. There's more allergies, I think, than ever before. People have a lot more preferences, whether it's being vegan. Rachel said it's a $4.2 trillion industry, so it's even bigger. So with all the allergies, all the preferences, Arbonne ticks every box. It really does. And the other key factor I always talk about with Arbonne is these products are consumed every single day and they wash down the drain. They need to be replenished. So they've got to be purchased from somewhere. So, look, they're sort of the main things I touch on on that slide. The social marketing is you can hear me okay, Kaz? I just said the internet's unstable. All good? Yep. The social marketing business of the future slide. This is the other slide I'll just quickly touch on. I've always said it since I first started presenting that I think this slide's wrong. It's the social marketing, it's the business model of now, and it's been happening. It is happening and it will continue to grow. I always talk about it. We've all done it. Photo at a cafe, dinner at a venue or a certain place. We take selfies or videos at events. We post it. That's social marketing. You are marketing that person's product. You are marketing that service. You are marketing that event. Someone's benefiting out of that. So that's been going on, I think, now for a good couple of years. That is something that, like I said, it's not a model. It's a model of it now. And a few stats. Now, this is a bit different, I suppose, where might have intrigued or caught Kaz's ear is, again, in my sort of digital dealings, a few things that have jumped out to me that I always think back to Arbonne. So with the smartphones and tablets, over 80% of people will engage a product or a service via a device. So that's...
Your shirt.
Sorry, someone's just talking. Is that Mel Quinn? We can hear. Just mute, sorry. There we go. Over 80% of people will engage a product or a service via a device. So that's a tablet or a phone or a laptop. It used to be higher from a desktop computer, but it's all through a device now. So that's a really high engagement rate of someone looking at a product or service. And think about your own situation. That's what you do now when you're online or you're shopping or you're looking up a holiday or you're looking to purchase something. You more 8 times out of 10, you'll do it from your phone. So I like to touch on that. It's another interesting stat is an average person is on 5 social media platforms. So just 5 alone. There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat. There's 5. And, there's a whole heap more. So, most of us on here will be across 5 social media platforms. So the way I look at that is you've got 5 free channels to promote, endorse, and highlight your global business and your product. Another thing that I've seen changed in the digital and the marketing world is the old marketing spend used to be across TV, print and radio, which I think is almost dying. It's not dead. There's still a little use for it. But the reason it is dying is because with our TV, we don't consume TV like we used to. We watch Netflix. We stream shows. We watch Foxtel, which means we don't consume ads. We either fast forward, we skip. We talk about that instant gratification. That's what we do. Growing up, we used to watch a TV show, have to wait 7 days till it came on again. But now I think we've all done it. We've binged on a series and watched it from season 1 to season 4 in a whole day. So TV advertising and marketing's down. Print is also on the decline. Again, we access our content and our reading through a device. We don't sit there with papers anymore. So the ad spend is down. It's all through a device. And radio is the same. We consume radio differently. We listen to Spotify. We listen to Apple Music. We listen to podcasts. We subscribe to YouTube channels. So again, that spend is down. So an interesting thing I have noticed is the only marketing and advertising platform that grew last year and made profit is what they call out-of-home media. So you'd notice those big billboards on the side of the road, all the digital and advertising in retail, shopping centres, airports, corporate buildings, cafes, gyms. That's all classified out-of-home media. So behind that, the biggest surge is digital and social marketing. That is now the key ingredient for businesses, for organisations, for small businesses to promote their product and their brand. It's called what they call the path to purchase. So in traditional advertising and marketing, it takes 7 to 12 impressions of a brand or service to subconsciously be in the back of your brain. So if you think the old day, or you still do it now, you get in the car, take the kids to school, you hear the ad on the radio. You drive down the road, you'd see the billboard. You'd go to your local shopping centre, you see the advertising digital screens. You get back in your car, you hear the ad again. At night, you're watching the news, you see the TV. So that was what they call path to purchase because they're capturing your attention the whole way through. But now it's all in socials. Companies now actually employing digital agencies specifically to pump up their social media, sponsored content, paid influencers, because they know now that the highest rate of engagement is via the devices, via influencers, via people with a trusted network to promote their brand. Look, the other big thing you've probably seen is the growth of social media, social marketing via paid influencers. I do like to mention that, Mark Zuckerberg talks about there's no more trusted recommendation than that of a family, friend or loved one. So for you to sit there, promote what you're doing, whether it be a business or your products that you use, how you're feeling, how it makes you feel, that has a bigger impact than a paid model or a paid advertising campaign could have. So, look, I always like to finish and just tell people that, simply become an ambassador of your own business, become an ambassador of your own brand, and just live and breathe the values and the company ethics and the products that they supply. So, they're the main points I usually talk about with those two slides. So like I said, there's a bit of info. Happy to share it offline if anyone wants it, or, there was a stat there that intrigued them. But when I think about collating all that together and why Arbonne is a golden opportunity with the trends in corporate world and the trends in social marketing, I think Arbonne is a pretty sound investment in business.
Thanks, Muzz. Absolutely, everyone's wanting to get your notes, so I'll get them from you and I'll send them to all the MVPs and they can post them on their page. But I just think it just goes to show that why wouldn't you do this business? For those that don't know, which would be everyone probably, I used to be an ad girl. Muzz is talking about how the industry is changing the way advertising dollars are being spent. I think about if I had to go back to work as corporate advertising, my job is, I'm obsolete now. And, we're talking about, Murray's talking about social influencers and how much we pay people. I mean, if you've been to one of my DAs, you may have heard me say that, and I'm talking 10 years ago, we were paying celebrities $60 million to endorse a brand. So it just doesn't work that way. And as Muzz said, let's just be the best ambassadors for our brand. Let's just be the best ambassadors. But anyway, thank you so much, Muzz. I really appreciate that. And if you have to run off and look after babies, I get that too. Now, I'm going to introduce Brittany. Now, I think it's Argle. I think that's how you say it. I don't know Brittany, but I've been told that Brittany's killing it on social media. So I did what every normal person does, and I stalked her Instagram today. So I can tell you from being like, you know, half an hour on Brittany's Instagram, well, not even half an hour, 10 minutes, I know that she loves to travel. I know that she wants to travel around Australia in a camper van. I know that she loves her Arbonne business and she's chasing time freedom and financial freedom. So I got that in a quick, you know, a quick stalk of her Instagram. So obviously she's doing it right. So I'm going to unmute you, Britt, and take it away.
Hey guys, thank you so much. This is a massive thing for me to get on here and speak. So thank you so much for inviting me on. So I, as was just said, I am 23 years old and I'm about to move over to Canada in 4 weeks' time, I think. And I will be working my business from my phone over there. And when I get back, I am in the middle of converting a camper van and I will then be traveling around Australia. So I am super excited for what is coming up. But I've been asked to jump on and share some of what I'm doing on social media, how I've built my Instagram account, and how I'm reaching out to people and growing my business through Instagram. So first of all, I wanted to just give a quick shout out to Crystal Segedensky and Megan Hinchcliffe. The three of us together have kind of guessed our way through what we're doing and our reach out methods, and we've sort of done it together. So I cannot take all the credit for this. But yeah, so there is no real secret. I am assuming you guys are all doing something fairly similar to what I'm doing. I'm probably just doing a little bit more, but I'm going to touch on 2 different aspects. First of all, how I've built my account, what I post, and then the reach out. So how I'm actually reaching out. So first of all, one thing that I learnt very quickly at a few events I went to and stuff when I started my Arbonne business was that it's really helpful to pick 4 topics. So 4 passions and 4 things that pretty well sum you up. So for me, mine is travel, my van, my friends and family, and my business / personal development growth, which has been massive since starting. So I make sure that everything that I post, whether it be the caption or the photo itself, somehow links back to one of those 4 passions of mine. Next is have a suitable username. So don't have some random username that does mean nothing. Try and have something simple, basic, just your name or something straightforward. And in your bio, make it so when somebody clicks on your account, they can get the gist of who you are from reading your bio. And one big thing, and not everybody agrees with this, but this is one thing that I have done differently to most people, is I actually don't mention Arbonne in my bio. Simply because, and it's not that I don't want people to know that I'm doing Arbonne, but more than anything, when I reach out to people, I want to create the curiosity and have them want to know what I'm doing. I don't want them to be able to look at my bio and say, oh yeah, I know she's running an Arbonne business. That's how she's doing. That's what she's going to tell me about. I want to create the curiosity. I want to show the lifestyle that I have now and then have the chance to actually show people how I'm doing it. So that's something I do differently. I don't post that I'm a district manager or that I'm or anything. I really don't. And none of this am I saying is Bible. That's just what I do and what I've seen work. Be authentic. So don't worry if I still struggle with this sometimes. I have days where I'm not doing anything exciting or I have nothing majorly to post. But just share your life. There's people out there very similar to you that just want to watch what you're doing. So yeah, just be authentic. Post regularly is a big thing for me. I think there's a Stacey on that needs to mute. But anyway, so show how Arbonne fits into your life. A big thing I get asked a lot, people reaching out to me, is whether you should have your profile on private or public. I definitely think put it on public so people can click and see you and watch you. And also swap it to a business account rather than a personal account. So a business account, you get to see the insights. So you can see how many times your photo's being saved or sent, or how many views it's getting, how many times people have clicked on your profile from your photo, and all kinds of little things like that, which are really handy. So that's pretty well how I have set up, and I'm not watching these comments, maybe I should be. No. So that's pretty well how I post, how I've set up and structured my Instagram. So now I'll go on to the actual reach outs themselves. So people have a few different ways of going about it and doing it. They either build a relationship with somebody before reaching out, or they're just fairly straightforward and just reach out to them once they've seen their account and they want to speak to them. I'm sort of like a straight up kind of person. I'm pretty busy with everything going on, so I don't feel like I have the time to build a strong relationship with somebody first. So I pretty well just jump straight in. If I find an account that I want to speak to, I want to tell about, I want to have on my team, I just pretty well send them a message straight up, and I will get into what I say. So firstly, most importantly, make sure that they're not already in Arbonne. So have a good look at somebody's account before reaching out to them, because you want to know about them anyway. You need to know what they're doing with their life, what they enjoy, because I refer to that in the message that I send. So how do I find people? When you search on Instagram, you go to the little magnifying glass, there's a heap of featured photos. And from what I can gather, I'm still learning as well, is Instagram's algorithm picks those photos on your featured search bar from the things that you are currently looking at and clicking on. And so I find that I can find a lot of girls in that featured section that I want to reach out to anyway, that are very similar to me and my interests. And so I kind of just search the featured section, but you can also search locations, locations, hashtags, anything. You can search whatever it might be, whether if you're into travel or you're about to travel to Brisbane or something and you want to find girls in Brisbane, search Brisbane and find photos that have been tagged in Brisbane and stuff like that. But then, yes, get to know their profile. So, for example, if someone's got written in their bio that they're a trainer at F45 or they're studying teaching or whatever it might be, make sure you refer to that in the message that you send so that they know you're authentic and that you're genuinely sending it straight to them. So I send voice messages, and I know this is a bit daunting for some people, but I have tried typing the messages and I find that they're too long and lengthy to say what I want to say, that they look a bit overwhelming. And sending it as a voice message, people can see how excited you are. They can see that you're a real person. And if you address them by their name and mention things from their profile, they know that you're sending that directly to them. So it makes it a lot more personal and relatable. So what I practice, if you are nervous about sending a voice message, practice sending them to yourself on Facebook, or send them to your mentor or whatever. Being able to listen to it back is really helpful. And one thing that I have found is smile your entire way through the voice message. As silly as it sounds, if you have to go stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself and smile the whole way through, it makes so much difference. So definitely have a couple of practices first, but voice messages are 100% the way to go. So what I do once I have sent the voice messages, and I have got 2 examples I will share with you, but once I have sent the voice message, I then go to their profile and I like their most 4 recent photos, and I comment on the most recent one and I just say, hey, and then I tag them. So I tag their username. Hope you're having an amazing day. I've just sent you a quick inbox or a message or something. Simply because if they're not following me back, when I send them a message, it doesn't actually pop up in their inbox. It goes to a little request section. So a lot of people I found weren't seeing my messages. So if you actually comment on their photo, it pops up in their notifications and then they're likely to go find your message. So that's been a big important thing that I've found. And once you have sent the voice message, if people come back and say that they're interested to know more, lock in a phone call as quick as you can. I try and eliminate as much back and forth messaging as I can, because that's when they start to ask questions and it's really hard to answer things in a message without getting overwhelming. So I definitely try and move and lock in a phone call as quick as I can, and as soon as you can. So yeah, sooner the better. So now a couple of examples I'll share with you guys. So what I have found is when you're reaching out to somebody, what I have found to be really helpful is reach out to people that have very similar amount of followings as you. So for example, me, I've got nearly 800 followers on Instagram now. So I try and reach out to anyone between, say, 300 and 2,000 followers. I don't reach out to people with much more than that, simply because I feel like they'll look at my profile and be like, oh, who's she? I don't know. So I kind of judge it, and everybody's a bit different. Some people might have 3,000 followers, so maybe you could reach out to people with 10,000, but just try and get someone in your ballpark, I think. So this is a voice message for somebody, and this is what I send most of the time to people probably about my age who are on Instagram all the time. You're kind of like wannabe influencers, and are going to be interested in doing brand collaborations and stuff like that. So what I say is, I just say, hey Claire, happy Monday, or whatever day. I know this is a little bit random, but my name is Brittany, and I was just having a quick look through your Instagram profile. I absolutely love your vibe. I saw that you're studying nursing and are a trainer at F45. That's amazing. You have so much potential to earn an income online with brand collaborations. And I actually run my own business now where I work with brand collabs, and I would seriously love to tell you about it. So I was just wondering if you would be at all open to jumping on a quick call with me at some stage so I could tell you about what it is that I do and just see whether this could potentially be a fit for you as well. So yeah, just let me know if this is something that interests you or you want to know a bit more information about. I would absolutely love to talk to you. And then I cut it off. So on Instagram, you get about a minute, I think it is, of voice message. So that message normally takes about 58 seconds, like about a minute, depending on how much you talk at the start about them. So yeah, and a good tip with Instagram is if you send a voice message and you stuff it up, or you make a mistake, or you don't like it or something, you can actually hold down on the voice message and click unsend. So then it quickly removes before anybody gets to see it. So then you can have take 2 if you need to. So that's handy. So then there's another one, which I send to, say, mums on Instagram or somebody, with young kids or something like that. So I've tailored this one for them because I don't really think they're going to be too keen.
Okay, is it just me or is Brittany frozen? Brittany's frozen? All right, frozen. Okay. Just start flapping your hands around for when you come back, Brittany, because we've lost you for the minute. But I can tell you now, though, every time I hear a new social media training, it just gets better and better. I'm not so scared of it. All the millennials on the call are like running for their phones. But I have, while we're waiting for Brittany to unfreeze.
You're back?
Oh, you're back?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. We just got past your, what are we talking about? Being able to get rid of your message.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
So you can unsend the message. So that's awesome. Next, I've got a voice message that I have tailored to mums. So a young mum or someone with kids. So what I say is, hey Gemma, I know this is really random, but my name is Britt. I've been following along on your page for a little while now, and I just had to reach out to you. I absolutely love your feed. You have the cutest little boy ever. I actually run my own online health and wellness business, and I coach and mentor other people on how to create their own successful businesses in and around their current lives, and I would seriously love to tell you about it. If I could show you how to turn your current expense, that is your shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, soap, and so on, into an income, would you be open to jumping on a call and chatting with me? I think you would be absolutely amazing at this. Hopefully we can chat soon. So that's what I say to a mum. And I haven't signed up any young mums. Well, I have, but no cold market mums yet. So I'm still working my way and trying to find what works, but that's what I'm doing at the minute. And as far as follow-ups go, this is the hardest thing, because with cold market reach outs, so your social media reach outs, what I find is you have to send a lot more messages to get a response back versus warm market. So I'm sending a lot of Instagram reach outs. So it's what I find where I come sort of unstuck is trying to keep track of them, and so therefore to follow up. So what I have come across, and Carrie in my team, she actually came up with this idea back at the beginning, with creating collections. So you can actually save photos on Instagram into collections. So what we have been doing is I have a collection for my, I have a collection for the girls that I want to reach out to. So I save them into a collection, and once I reach out to them, then I save them into a different collection called follow-ups. And you might do a folder for each week, or however works for you. We're still trying to figure that out. But in order to follow up, I sometimes react to their stories, comment on their photos, send them a quick message. I normally play really dumb, and even though I can see that they've seen my message, I kind of just say, hey, I'm not sure if you saw my last message, but I would really love to chat to you. Even though that I can clearly see it, I just do it anyway. And a lot of the time people will reply and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to reply. So just because it looks like they've ignored us, sometimes they haven't. People just get busy and have busy lives. So that's pretty well all I'm going to share tonight. That's pretty well exactly what I'm doing. So I'll have a quick read of the comments.
Well, pretty much everyone's just telling you that you just blew their mind. You certainly blew mine. I'm going to have to, like, I was writing like a maniac on 2 pages, but I'm going to have to go back and listen. So there will be a recording of this, guys. So go back and listen to all the tips. But you know what I love? You know how you were talking about your 4 passions and writing them down? So that's just like when we talk about building your Arbonne brand. So people get to know who you are and what you stand for straight away. But oh my God, there were so many tips. I must laugh though, when you said about Instagram and the algorithms select, you know, pictures for you. I just went on mine and I got Sam Smith eating a hamburger. I mean, what's with that? I don't know what I did to get that, but Rick, thank you so much. That was awesome. I was going to swear then. Yeah, you blew my mind. I completely learnt new stuff, so I'm going to have to go back and have a listen to this. So thank you so much. Have a read of the comments. Everyone thinks you're the bomb.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I'll just mute you. Okay, so now our final speaker for tonight is Fiona Hodder. Now, Fiona has had one of those incredible starts in her Arbonne journey where she's started as a consultant and flown to area. It's an incredibly exciting time. So she is going to tell us exactly how she has done that. So Fiona, there you are. Oh no, sorry. There you go. You're unmuted.
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks, Carolyn.
There you are. Off you go. It's all yours.
Thank you. So just in conjunction to what Caroline said, I've actually been in Arbonne for 2 years. So it's been a bit of a change for me, and I will go back to Friday when Danny Stevens actually rang me and asked me to train. I thought she was ringing to wish me happy birthday. I was like, oh my God, Danny Stevens is ringing to wish me a happy birthday. Wow, that's just awesome that she's doing that. Needless to say, that was not what the call was just about, but she did wish me happy birthday. So thank you for the opportunity. I am nervous as all hell. But
sorry, I'm going to stop you there. So I'm trying to figure out who's not muted. So just give me a sec to mute all again. And now let me, there you go. Sorry about that. Take it. And Danny said she did, oh, it must be you. Is it you?
me?
No? Oh, that's okay. I can hear feedback. Can everyone else hear that? Yeah. Okay. Off you go. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Is it all good?
Yeah, someone's saying, do you have your notes over the speaker on your computer?
Oh, possibly.
All right.
Is that better?
There you go. All yours. All yours.
Excellent. So as I said, I've been in R1 for 2 years, but I've literally been like the mellow yellow yo-yo from the 80s. So some will know what that's like, some will not, obviously the millennials. But instead of being up and down, I was in and out. I was in and out of R1, in and out of district manager, and just about in and out of everything. And it wasn't until GTC this year that I actually got it. I got what this business was about. I got what I could achieve in this business, and I got what this business can do for so many others. And I decided that it was time to go for it. So I returned from GTC completely changed. I had come back with so many aha moments, from Rachel Hollis bringing me to tears and crying like a baby, to cheering so many grand award achievers on who had made a difference not only in their own lives, but for so many others, that it was just amazing. And to the amazing Rita Davenport, who absolutely spoke to my heart and my mind, telling me I was already an achiever and a go-getter because I had swum upstream against 200 million sperm just to be here. So who am I to argue with Rita? I knew I was an achiever. I had a decided heart, and I was 100% focused. I was committed. Oh, I can hear some. All good? All right, okay. So I come back with a decided heart, and I was 100% focused. I was committed. I had a changed mindset, and I had more excitement within me than I had ever experienced before in my life, and particularly in Arbonne. I removed my judgment of myself, and for the very first time I believed. I believed not only in myself, but I believed in what Arbonne could do. I plugged in. I plugged into PD like I never had before. I was on every training call, morning and night. I listened to audios, I read, and I shared with our team. And I started to dream again. I recreated my vision board and made my hubby screw it to our bedroom wall. So every night it was the last thing I seen, and every morning it was the first thing I seen. It was the constant reminder of why I was doing this. I shared my vision with my family and the team. It reminded me to continue to work hard and never ever give up. I took the complication out of the business and followed the simple system. I simply just shared the opportunity of Arbonne to as many as I could. I had presentations booked in before I returned from Vegas, and I'm sure every one of you can understand the power of a yes just to even listening to a presentation. And I leveraged off that power of every yes that I got and just kept on asking and offering. I had 100% belief that I would attract the right people into my business, either as business builders or preferred clients. It didn't matter to me, as it was all activity. In June, after being back from GTC, I sponsored 2 new consultants, and in July I sponsored another 2 consultants. We got our new consultants off to the right start and showed them how to duplicate the system, exactly what I had been shown. And as we all say, the best copycat actually wins. And that is what we did. Our new ICs joined up new ICs, and our team just grew. We created urgency and momentum, and we promoted our 3 district managers in July, one being myself. I went from IC to DM to area manager qual in 31 days. But let me tell you, I did not believe on the 31st of July that I would go area manager qual. At 4 p.m. that day, I received a call from a fellow consultant, Mimi, who asked me if I was going area manager qual that month. And I was blatantly honest and told her it was just not going to happen. I still had around 3,500 QV to get, and at that point, I believed it was impossible, or so I thought. 6:30 that night, while having dinner at my parents', I got this burn in my gut, and I just knew I had to go area manager qual that night. I could not get home quick enough. As soon as I was home, I kindly told my husband, well, probably not so kindly, that you're in charge of the kids and the nightly routine. I had work to do. 3,500 QV in 5 hours seemed unreachable, but I went for it anyway. I reached out to our team and declared that we were going area manager qual and to dig as deep as they could possibly dig. We needed to make this happen, and they did. We hustled all our PCs. We hustled the nose. We reached out to those that had already ordered that month for another order. We posted on all our social media pages, thank you to the 7-day body cleanse. And we kept going until the 11th hour. And 4 and a bit hours later, we reached area manager qual. Only by a few QV, but we made it. My team absolutely had my back. Honestly, I did not believe what we had achieved. It was simply incredible. In August, we come back and we were pumped. We had such a huge goal to reach. We reset, we refocused, and we worked on our goals. But to be completely honest, we all had Arbonne hangover from July. It just seemed to take us a few days to get back into momentum. But we didn't waver. We continued to have each other's back. We set our intentions and goals and went for them. There were setbacks along the way, absolutely. We had yeses that turned into nos. We had PCs that just never ever signed up. We had people not turn up to presentations, but we still all had our belief and mindset. We encouraged each other no matter what. And I cannot express the need to do follow-up. I had one of my good friends from 2 years ago I presented to, who come with me to my very first GTC a year and a half ago, had never ever bought the product. Always was going to, I really loved it, but just can't do it this month. And I just followed up again with her. And I said to her, please help an old cobber out. Put an order in, sign up as a new PC. And she did. She ordered an RE9 set. And I was just astounded because I hadn't followed up with her for nearly 12 months because I just knew she would say no. And I expressed what I was going for. And she had my back. I couldn't believe it. In August, we sponsored 2 new ICs to the team. Not only was our team growing, so was our momentum. AAC created further momentum with a few of us attending AAC, but we ensured that only with a few of us there, we actually expressed it back to the whole team, the excitement and the elation of AAC. We communicated all the top tips, we sent photos, we sent videos of the Dreamland experience, and we told everyone to put it on their vision board for 2020. It was a non-negotiable. We returned completely empowered for success in our businesses. This was the cement for our team, and it was non-negotiable to go area. We followed up, we asked, we presented, and we continued to dig deep. We went area around 10:30 p.m. on end of month. I was fortunate enough to be at Lisa Finlay's house, and everyone there completely had my back and pushed me harder and keep going. So what does this all mean when talking about power of going for it? It means not only working on my own growth, but on the growth of our team. It means constantly communicating with each other day and night, day in and day out. It means being a brand ambassador of our products. Be the biggest brand ambassador you can be. It means being responsive to all our needs, phone calls, messages, Zooms, face-to-face audios. Let's face it, a bit of Debbie Neal gets all of us pumped and going for it. It means pushing harder than ever before. It means being 110% committed to myself and our team. It means sacrificing time with my family, but knowing that in time it will be returned to me tenfold. It means having unwavering belief in myself, my team, and Arbonne. And when that little bit of doubt creeps back in, just to take those few minutes to refocus on the goal and not let that take you out of the game. It means celebrating all the wins and acknowledging the losses because they're just as important to learn from them. It means being completely engaged and plugged in, being energized and showing your energy, and being so hungry that you have to just go for it. So 62 days later, I went from being an independent consultant to area manager. I reached every bonus in that period of time, and it was exciting and exhilarating. It was scary. I was totally scared of the unknown and not having the control of the outcome. But it was so elating with every QV that ticked over, and it was full of emotion with every yes and every no. And at times it was exhausting, mentally and physically. I had to lean in to be a leader, and I'm so very lucky enough to have amazing leaders to emulate so that I can be the leader our team deserves. So all I can say is know your goal and go for it. Leverage off your momentum, energy and excitement to push you to the next level in your Arbonne journey, and then duplicate that until you reach your dreams. And remember, fear lasts just a moment, regret lasts a lifetime.
Boom! It sure does. Thank you, Fiona. That was amazing. Go through the chat feed and have a look. Completely inspiring. Everyone just loves your story. I'm sorry I threw you. You know, you just saying you were shaking, and then I go and throw you with people not muted on the call. So apologies for that. But look, just an incredible journey. You've actually just sort of drawn a picture of what Arbonne is, or what it takes to succeed in this business. So I was writing down some notes. So you started off, you invested in yourself and your business. You went to GTC as a consultant. You came back, you've made your decision. You know, the D word, the decision. Because of the decision, you changed your vibration attracted new consultants into your team. You followed the team prosperity system, and you got started quickly. You created urgency, you built momentum. Now, just by doing that and by pressing repeat, you're an area manager, which is just a freaking awesome level to be at. You now get to go to the AM retreat. And I think what it just shows of all, what have we got, 220 people on this call. For those that are consultants, they have absolutely got the time now to be at that AM retreat with you. So that's literally what you need to do. But I think as well, what you need to do is decide what you're prepared to do for your business. So yes, if you're married, it has conversations with your husband, but you know what? The house ain't going to be that clean, and there might be some washing left on the floor, but I'm going for a promotion. You know, the kids might not get fed tonight. They'll get fed in the morning. They'll be fine. We'll chuck them a protein shake. But they're things that, you know, once you make that decision, you have to make some short-term sacrifices. So what are you willing to do? So thank you, Fiona, for sharing your completely inspiring story. Thanks, Brittany, for being on and just reteaching us again and again about social media. Thanks, Mars, for sharing your tips on digital. I think it's one of those calls where we're all going to have to go back and take notes because it was just so much information tonight. So this is being recorded. We will share it to your Nation pages. But I just want to give a massive thanks to all the speakers tonight. Thank you for being on. And it was a pleasure to host your call tonight. And I hope to see you guys all soon. So take care and good night. Bye.